My dad bought these hood pins. They didn't work very well on his because they're so spring loaded. He can't get them on, so I put 2 on my S10, as you see there, just to see how they're like. They'll work good for when you're parking it because they'll be hard to get off. I got another toggle switch from Canadian Tire when I was in there today. I got some wheel spacers that I'm going to try to see how much I need to do to fit my 16s on the rear and the front, so I can try the 1/4 inch. I can double them up and just place the rim on and see how it goes. But the switch is going to be for my headlights, and then I'll do a switch for the floor switch like the old 70s trucks and cars had. And then I got windshield wiper switch. I grabbed some smaller gauge connectors for it, and then I had one of the big ones still, so I can get it installed. My headlight switch, I got to pick up a floor switch to switch from high to low beam. I broke some of my center console while it was cold out here trying to get it out. It was stuck on the shifter, cracked it up farther, so I'll cut more of it off and then drill a hole in it. I guess I could use one of the soldering wire things and glue into it, but I got a different sub box to try, so I'll have that, which is good. And it fits nicely behind my seat, which my seat probably won't get moved too much. Passenger one can have the amps, then it'll be a little cleaner, and I'm pretty much ready to go. I still got to do my choke cable, finish up the exhaust, but I don't mind laying in the snow. But on the other side of the truck, I'll show you. There's those hood pins, and then here's the new ones. This side gets really muddy because the sun gets on it, so it's the only downside. Icicles hanging off of it, up rolling around underneath it. Underneath it's dry, but it's getting under it is a bit of a pain where it sits. Even if it was in the driveway, my driveway gets really wet, as you can see. That spot has no snow from the tree. I don't know if I've showed you guys the 40 cab lately. I do want to get it out, start working on it this summer. I did have the wagon or the wheelbarrow out, but it ended up back here. I wanted to start working on it this winter. Start doing a little work on the doors and the fenders. I don't know what I'm going to do with the fenders. Probably won't use them on this cab. I might though if I find a hood. But I wanted to start getting all this off and start smoothing out some of the areas on the body, get that welded up. I'm going to start practicing welding on sheet metal. So I think the fenders will be a good starting area, and then do this. I don't want this to be get the hinges out. Somebody just cut them off, but I don't want this to be a show truck. It is gonna be a rat rod for sure. I'll just weld that up, clean it up, weld it, and leave it. It's probably won't even see paint. I might treat the inside of the cab just to help protect it, and whatever I keep of the floor. There's quite a bit of it here. I was thinking of turning the S10 into a step side and use those fenders on it, but don't know what I'll do with the S10. The body is rough, like it's got some broken motor mounts. There's a big hole in the floor right there. The fender and door don't line up. The hood doesn't line up no matter what I do with it. This fender I can't get to line up, so I almost think the cab is twisted. There's a big gap that shows up. so I could mess around with it. But the chassis only has rust in one of the bump stops has rust in it, so I'm not too worried about that. It'd be a good chassis for the 40s cab if I get the S10 pulled off the road.